Hello, everyone. It is Joe. I've just gotten through meditation, so I'm talking slow. That may be a new thing at the beginning of videos. I don't know. I'm not trying to make a meditation habit. I know that when I create a habit, I force myself to do things when I don't want to. I do know that I really enjoy meditating outdoors, sitting down after I dig my morning hole. So I'm very, very excited to share with you the stuff that I learn and to enjoy this little morning ritual as long as I want to. It's so hard because I'm torn between the desire to force something that I know is good for me and the desire just to let it go. And I know that letting it go is right. They say, let it go, and if it loves you, it'll come back, that kind of thing. And that really applies here. I have a visitor. There's a little ant crawling on my screen. You couldn't see it, but I sure could. Anyway, I'm working with this meditation experience. I've been doing it at the same time this day, each day. I guess every day is the same day, as Janis Joplin says. But I'm working with that. I'm working with allowing it to happen every day, but never expecting it to. Allowing my natural desire to meditate come through, even despite the little competition thing I've been talking about over the last few days. Not expecting that to go to a certain number. Today the number was less. I suppose I could justify that by saying, it was probably more because I didn't hit the timer correctly on one of them, so I meditated for quite a while without a timer. But I don't need to justify it. I think it's good to know that. I think it's good to know that I can meditate other ways and that I don't need a timer. I think that we just get caught in the wrong thoughts. I don't want to be judgmental about wrong thoughts, but we get caught in competitive, egotistical thoughts, feeling that we need to be more than others, even feeling that we need to be more than ourselves, feeling that we need to grow. That's a crazy one. Feeling that we need to grow. I love growth. I love knowing that I'm growing. And I need to I need to accept, and I am accepting that I love opening my throat chakra. But I want to accept, I am accepting that I am growing whether I like it or not, and I'm growing at a perfect pace. It's not that there's anything wrong with growth, it's that forcing it and expecting it to happen at a certain pace and screwing it up. It's like trying to make something grow too fast and then killing it. Like a plant that you're trying to grow, so you give it fertilizer to make it grow faster and you give it too much and it dies. It's like attaching a negative to a positive and then messing it all up. I try not to use polarities like negative and positive, but I don't know how else to say things sometimes, so I'm working on it. When I force growth, it doesn't feel right, and then I step back from growth. And then I have to relax back into growth without expectations. I'm learning that at my own pace. I'm learning to pace myself at my own pace. You know, it's an interesting and fun part of life. So, I had a theme, but I got off on a tangent right away and I can't remember what it was. Let's just go back to some basics. I was meditating And, oops, there's a bug. And while I was meditating, I was working on my posture. One really good basic that I may have mentioned before is that when you are sitting in a seated meditation pose, try leaning forward too much and feeling your back muscles engage. Try leaning back too much and feeling your stomach muscles engage. It's great for body awareness, and it's a little piece of yoga awareness, I guess. But I also wonder if, how do I say it? Is meditation a good time for yoga? I've been going back and forth on this one. I actually started my timer meditations in some forward fold yoga stretches because I really want to stretch out my body, especially my hamstrings. I think I know what hamstrings are. If I'm saying that wrong, some yoga person come here and illuminate me. But yeah, I've been really working on forward fold. I've been having some lower back pain, which I think is related to tight muscles from cycling. Um, the ones in the back that connect your butt to the back of your knee, I think those are hamstrings, and quadriceps are in the front. But like I said, if somebody knows this anatomy stuff, please come in and give me some advice. That being said, I found that yoga was too much. And so now when I'm talking about the little bit of postural yoga, I'm worried if that's too much or not. But I don't need to worry. I think it feels right and it's good. So let me say this. Next time you're doing some seated yoga, let me get back into a seated posture that works. Okay, here we go. My favorite quarter, half, third, whatever you call it, lotus pose. Um, so, okay, now I'm in a decent pose. I'm leaning forward, like I said, and I can feel my butt coming up a bit, and I can feel back muscles firing, as well as a stretch, in my legs. This is also a good stretch. But what I'm really trying to do is to feel the back of my body engaging. I think there's a little visitor I don't want. Hello, fellow. Might just be a scab, who knows. I'll check it out later. It's easy to get distracted. So now, I'm leaning back. Leaning back. There we go. Oh my gosh. Woo, that feels good. Now, as I'm leaning back, I'm engaging my stomach muscles. I'm also feeling it in my shoulders. Gravity is pulling them back and down the way they really want to go. Let's go back forward. I can feel back muscles engaging and at least one of my legs stretching out. Because I'm sitting in half lotus, my legs get different amounts of stretch. The leg on top is getting more stretch because it's leveraged by the other one. But now I'm leaning back in my meditation pose, and I can feel my shoulders wanting to move back again. I can feel my chest opening up. And if I do this, I can lean back all the way, or at least part of the way. I can feel my nasal cavities opening up, and my throat. I can yawn in that position and really feel good. So, these freckles distract me because out here in the woods we do have chiggers, which are tiny little bugs, like ticks, but they don't spread disease. They're just bugs that want to chew on you. So every time I see something that looks like one, I always, get eager about it. But I think those are just freckles. I'll check them out later. As you know, I don't own a mirror, so looking at the video is the one time a day that I get to see what I look like, work on my vanity and my appearance. So, anywho, leaning forward and leaning back in meditation can be really interesting, especially back because we typically lean forward in our daily activities. I'm trying out a new one right now, kind of tucking my knees to my chest as much as I can, and still hold the phone. I could use more force to pull my knees to my chest if my hands were free, but kind of using my forearms. But I'm exploring different poses throughout my day. I know I cycle a lot. I know I sit in cafes a lot in comfy chairs and have the same couple of postures, all the time. When I sleep, I've got about 3 postures that I do, on my back or on either one of my sides. So those 3 postures get a lot of work, as well as, like I said, sitting and cycling. So finding another one or 2 or 3 that I could put in there into my day, just in different little parts of my day, would be really neat. Especially doing a forward fold that isn't a hunch over, but is coming from the lower back, getting the lower back and getting the belly to meet the tops of the legs, the tops of the thighs. Really, I don't know if you can see it, but I'm trying to sit in this posture and really get the front of my body touching my thighs. And I'll do forward folds sitting down, I'll do forward folds standing up. Another one that I really like, because last night I was really having some lower back pain after sitting a lot all day and then cycling, which may mess up the same muscle groups. I don't know how they work together to create that issue. I don't know. I mean, I can cycle all day and I'll have a little lower back pain, but what I had yesterday was pretty extreme. I think it was sitting and the lower back pain. Anyway, I've put the phone down so I can lean in towards it. What I'm doing is I'm sitting in half lotus again, and I am leaning towards the phone, which is over my right knee. And I can really feel a side stretch. The side of my body near my hip, not in the center near my spine, but I can feel a side stretch in my lower back. And I think this one is really healthy. I've enjoyed this one for a while. I can feel some of the muscles there with my hand, that they're kind of tight. And I can get my chin to my knee. Yesterday I got into these so much because they were helping my sore back that I even got further down and took my chin outside of my right knee, to the right of my right knee. But it's not a competition. Quick counter stretch. Always remember to do both sides when you're doing yoga, and always remember to counter one with the other. Actually, I'm going to switch legs. You can't see my face right now. There I am. I just switched my legs in half lotus pose because I was leaning over the top leg. When you're in half lotus, you have a top and a bottom leg. One of your calves is on top of the other, and I'm leaning over the one that's closer to me. Like I said, that one gets pushed up by the other leg, so it gets leveraged up a little bit. Anyway, leaning down over my knee and really feeling a nice side stretch. I don't know if you can see me well in the video, but I'm feeling a nice stretch in my side, going over my knee, even a little bit to the outside of my knee, and feeling it really open up the lower back, but the outside, the side of the body between the waist and the hip. Not so much the center. Of course, if you want to do the center, you just do this. I put the phone right in front of me, and I am now leaning down to look at you. There's a better video, but I'm leaning down to look at you, and now I'm leaning forward, without favoring one side or the other. Of course, because I'm in half lotus, the leg that's on top is still getting a bigger stretch, so that's one thing to be aware of. One thing that feels really good in this is to lace the hands behind me and then lift them over my head or like over my shoulder blades. That really opens up more stuff. I think there's a wisdom to the yoga poses of, well, heck, if you're bending over and stretching this, that's good for your lower back. Why not stretch your upper back by lacing your hands at the same time? Why not get 2 for 1 in the same amount of time, as long as you've got the willpower, and energy to do it? So, a lot of practical stuff today, a lot of yoga, meditation stuff today. Actually, more yoga than meditation. As far as meditation goes, I think the best thing to do is to just accept that it flows, accept that your mind flows, accept that you have thoughts, and notice when you have thoughts, and not judge them and just let them come and go, not try to stop them. The whole idea of meditating and keeping your mind empty is something that experienced meditators will work towards, but what's good for you today is not trying to focus on that. What's good today is just focusing on wherever you are, being wherever you are, and not trying to be anything you're not. It's like somebody sitting down for their first piano lesson and trying to play Rachmaninoff. It's not the right approach. Get comfortable in meditation. Like I said, work with your sitting posture to find postures that open up your body, and just use a meditative sitting pose as a yoga pose just for the physical benefits of it. Like leaning back and allowing your nasal cavities to drain. Leaning back and allowing your chest to open up, allowing emotions to come out. If you're familiar with fish pose, which is kind of a lying down heart opening pose, that's very similar to what it feels like when I sit in a meditative pose and my shoulders go back and my chest opens up and my head goes back. That's very similar to fish pose, which can be a very emotional pose. Opening up our chest when we typically hunch forward, like I'm doing right now. But, opening all that stuff up can be really emotional. And it seems to me that it opens up our nasal cavities and all that stuff. And I think that also when we feel sad, when we're trying not to cry, we tense up our throat area, as well as take postures that don't allow our nasal cavities and sinuses to open up. So I think that it really takes a lot of confidence and courage to take these postures. Hunching over out of submission, or just out of that's my work posture, or just out of fear, or maybe that's the way I ride my bike, or all these different things. We hunch over a lot, and it's something we need to mix up with other stuff. We're going to keep doing it, sitting in front of a computer or whatever we do for a living, hunching over different tasks. That's something we're probably going to keep at for a while, but there's ways to deal with it. Some people have standing desks, some people have other mechanisms they use to really open up their bodies and not hunch. And so many of us have this issue, so it's a good one to keep coming back to. Notice when you do it, don't judge it. Find ways to mix it up, take breaks and do other postures. When I'm at the cafe, I'll take a break and go outside and do arm circles or standing forward folds or this or that. Do that kind of stuff. And then go back and hunch. It's not the end of the world. Don't stress about it. It's okay. It's part of life. But take your breaks when you do and notice the effects. Noticing the positive effects of nose and sinus opening has given me a really good eagerness to keep doing it. Whatever you feel eager about, whatever you notice when you're playing around with your body and seeing what feels best, those things that you're interested in, that you gravitate towards, go for them. Go for what calls you, go for what makes you excited, go for what feels really good today. And I'll leave it there. come visit me at joeneely.net/community. Neely is spelled Neely. And check me out. Check out all the places that you can find me online and all the places you can find each other, in particular the Facebook group. If anybody has trouble signing on to the Facebook group, let me know. I think I've set it up so you can invite yourself, but maybe that needs another step. So if you're social media savvy and or just want to jump in and try to sign up and let me know if you can get in, I'd appreciate the feedback on that. I've invited certain people that I know listen to the show, but there's other people who listen to the show, um, and I don't know who you are. YouTube only tells me how many people listen to the show. So I'd like you to be a part of the Facebook group to facilitate communication between us, um, as well as taking communication between each other. Because if you're into my crazy adventures, you'll probably connect with the other people who do. So that's it. I love you all very much, and I will talk with you soon. Bye-bye.